Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm on the call with Tom Connery. I know we did a video, I can't remember when we last did a video interview. It was quite a while back,
Oh, a
wasn't
while
it?
ago. I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah.
last summer, possibly. But today we're doing something slightly different rather than the classic interviews. We'll be going through some of the latest features from Duda. So today we'll be going over the new local business schema, the Stories app, the Search Console app, and the new Flex section, which is the Flex sections or the Flex feature. So we'll be going over that today. And to start off with, we'll be going over Flex. So if you wanted to share your screen, Tom, we can
Sure.
go over it.
Oh, it says you've disabled screen sharing, so we gotta fix that.
Oh, no worries. Wait, I will just make you the host.
And I should
Oh,
let people know that I'm not gonna go into some in-depth tutorial, and we're gonna build a big Flex section together. This is more
yeah,
high level, kind of reviewing it with you, just talking about it.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. So here we go. I've just shared the screen. You should be able to share your screen now.
Sure. Hopefully you can see that. Lots of different crazy tabs going on right now. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So if you're not familiar with Flex, this is a really ugly one. But
Mm,
hopefully anyone watching this video is familiar with Duda, the website builder, and how to create rows and inner rows and columns and this traditional web design aspects of Duda. Well,
mm,
Flex is a new addition of how you can design sections. The unique thing about it is you have to go into it separately, and it kind of locks out the rest of the website. You notice when I click that, it goes into like edit mode here. You have to
mm.
establish a grid layout, which just has what, 6 columns in this one right now. And then you add these containers or text blocks or flex boxes. And I guess the greatest thing about it is to be able to just quickly drag in elements and move them wherever
Mm,
you want to. Right.
mm.
So they don't have to be aligned, things like that. Like I've got things crooked here, like for a reason, just as a demonstration. It's
Yeah,
very quick
yeah,
to do that. It was not quick to do that before
yeah,
Flex.
yeah.
Right. So
No,
that's
for
great.
sure. Yeah.
Um, I guess probably the biggest downfall I've seen so far in my limited use of it, I've only built a couple of these for like clients, not many.
Mm,
Um, the fact that you can't get out of flex mode and let's say copy a text widget, copy some kind of any widget you want, go back into flex mode and then paste it.
yeah,
That
yeah.
that doesn't work. So I hope they can end up adding that capability somehow. Because I mean, and me anyway, and some of my use cases, I have elements that I want to repurpose on the site or reuse and or redesign a certain row as a flex row, flex section. I
Mm,
don't want to recreate it, right? I want to be able to copy and paste it in there. So you
yeah.
can't do that yet today that I'm aware of. I tested it like last night or something. Didn't work then.
Mm, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that's the idea. You can actually flip through and try to see what's the flex, what it should look like on, of course, desktop, tablet, which may look kind of weird. You got to change that, and
Mm.
mobile. Again, I have had some not so great success on mobile with Flex. I think you were the same, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, one of the ways we got around it was actually just hiding the Flex section on mobile and maybe on tablet too. I don't, on mobile and just adding just a simple Duda section, just using the simple Duda editor as opposed to using the Flex sections on mobile because we had some trouble with it. I'm
Yeah,
hoping they can improve that in the future. Sure.
yeah, I'm sure they will. That's exactly what I did too. We had a similar use case where we could figure out desktop and tablet enough to make it look and be responsive, and it was flexible. It worked.
Mm,
But we
mm,
struggled with mobile, and we did the same exact thing. We're like, hey, let's just hide this section on mobile and just
mm,
build it the traditional way, and then we'll hide the mobile one on desktop
mm.
and tablet.
Yeah, yeah,
Tricks of the
that's the
trade.
best way. Yeah, because obviously, a user experience is just completely different on mobile as opposed to desktop. So, I'm hoping they can improve that down the line for sure. Um,
The other thing too, we should show people real quick is starting from scratch can be a little intimidating sometimes on something like Flex when it's new. And you can go watch Duda's webinar. They've got a webinar, like an hour-long building session on it if you want to see that. But if you just go to your add section menu option, you'll see they've added Flex sections here. There's a blank
mm,
one with 4 columns, and then they've got these pre-built ones. And this is kind of new. I noticed they added like mini tutorials below each one. I experimented with this one the other day. So this is great, and I appreciate that Duda has given us kind of a head start with, a text-based Flex section with 3 images that have like an overlay to them. They've got layers. So this is a very common, right, design that a site might want to have on it. And it's awesome that they've added this for us. So you can
Mm.
kind of just get started with this if you wanted to. You click play, tutorial pops right up. Uh,
Oh,
it's pretty intuitive. I like how they did that.
yeah, that is
So if
quite cool.
you are intimidated by Flex, I don't think you should be. I think you should probably start with some of these pre-built Flex sections and experiment and figure it out.
Mm. Yeah, for sure, definitely. Because obviously, I mean, when I learned SEO, one of the best ways of learning anything is just testing it out, just trying different things rather than sitting through hour-long, webinars, things like that. It's much easier to just try and rank a site or try a flex section, play around with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, definitely recommend that. Okay, well, you know, what would you say, kind of overall? I mean, what would you say one of the best things about Flex and one of the maybe things that they should probably improve on the Flex side, would you say?
Oh no, I think I just covered it, but I like the fact that we now have an easier ability to create layered content. I think
Mm,
that's what it was about. I think some people, well, not some people. It's a little bit restrictive at times, building with only a grid framework.
mm,
You can do negative spacing and move things where you want them to go. I remember I built a site for a photographer a while back, which all like custom spacing and layers and stuff, and
yeah,
we did it all. We just did it all manually. Um,
yeah,
Very rarely do I get like a mock-up from a client or some kind of design that they wanted us to reproduce on Duda
mm,
that we couldn't.
mm,
And now because of Flex, I think on those rare, unique circumstances, we
mm.
can do that now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, one of the obviously setbacks I would say is obviously the mobile that we mentioned earlier,
Yep.
and then also one thing that I would highly recommend if they did it in place is if they could add a add a flex section within the header, so we can
Oh yeah.
adjust the different items within the header. So yeah, because obviously I have trouble with playing around, with adjusting the different items within the header sometimes, and yeah, I mean, it would just be a really nice feature to add in place. Okay, so the
Absolutely.
next part I wanted to go over was the actual local business schema. How they've improved the local business. I know they had that in place before, so I think they brought out an update adding local business schema a while back. I can't really remember when, but they've improved it. They've furthered it. So yeah, how would you? I mean, I know you've checked it out. Um,
Sure. Actually, I'll share my
yeah,
screen again real quick. I can just
yeah,
show people where it is.
yeah.
Share. I'm on the same site. You might be familiar with the content business info section of Duda where you can populate your name, and business type is now added. There's a bunch of selections here, and this is schema related. And it's kind of a variable. So based on what business type you select, of course, whatever kind of site you're building,
Mm,
um, you might get some different custom schema elements below. So
mm.
if you scroll down here to the bottom, you'll see that the price range is here. Add custom fields.
Oh wow.
Um, there's branch, currencies accepted, fees and commission specification. This is unique to the financial company selection.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so that's what's kind of cool about it is, I mean, I haven't gone through all these. There's a ton of different options to go through depending on what kind of business you're running.
yeah, yeah.
So it's important though, once you start making your selection, populating your location and your phone number and all this important detail about your business, from Google's perspective, always go down to the very bottom when you're done. I don't think Brewery's going to have anything custom. Let's take a look. And you can click down on this drop down. Oh, it does. Look at that. So because the brewery is part of
Mm,
probably aligned to the restaurant service a little bit, it's going to say, hey, is there a menu? What are the currencies
yeah.
accepted? Serves cuisine. So it looks like there are some restaurant menu related schema items you could add for your brewery
Mm,
listing.
yeah, yeah.
So that's a good
Excellent.
example. So depending on what business type you have, you can add
That's
custom
great.
schema elements. And of course, before this, everything was manual, right? It's going
Mm,
to the Google schema code and kind of understanding it, writing your own
yeah,
JSON or whatever, and getting it in the script on the page. So
yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
convenient. This is definitely aligned to that no code movement, and I think a
Mm.
lot of people will benefit from it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, it's just another thing they've added to streamline the process of SEO, for I mean, to be honest, even if you aren't doing SEO, these things should be in place if you're just building websites and hosting them on some system. And I'll probably
Yeah,
cover that in a minute about the going over the Search Console app. But before we do that, I just wanted to quickly share the screen on an app that you can use if you'd like to do schema yourself, right? Oh, could you just, I'll just reclaim the host actually. 2 seconds. Can I reclaim the host? Here we go. So what's great about this online free tool is what you can do is you can actually schema markup generator. So what you can do is you can actually create different types of schema as opposed to just local business or organization schema. You can also create person schema, product schema, recipe schema, video schema. All these different types of schema markup. Just as opposed to just doing local business or organization, which is really nice. Like breadcrumbs as well, I use that across all the sites that we have. Article schema as well, just to help Google understand what your page is all about. And if you guys would like an explanation on schema markup, I'm sure we can set it up. But yeah, it's a really nice little feature, and I'd highly recommend anyone, if you want to add schema to your site, to use this free tool. Okay. Right.
Yeah, I've used Merkle also. Just make sure they do the testing tool and all the validation. Maybe we
Yeah.
can do a future video on that. We'll just run through like a blog article or something.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean, it's massively important, I'd say, for SEO purposes and things like that. Yeah, okay. So what I wanted to go over next is the Search Console app, because this is obviously brand new and they've just recently added it to the site. I would go over it, but I don't think it needs too much. I would open it up on the Duda system, but I don't think it needs too much explanation. But basically, what's really nice about this new Duda app, I'll just stop share here, is it basically offers the option. So every time you republish your site, if you set up this, I think it's the first Duda, I think it's the first app that's made by Duda, as opposed to a third-party platform, if I'm not mistaken, which is really nice. And I'm hoping to see more of these. But what it enables is you, instead of having to go into the Search Console, system, right? Instead of like searching up Search Console and going inside the Search Console and submitting a sitemap manually, what you can then do instead is just install this app onto Duda, and then every time you publish a site, it will automatically submit a sitemap to Search Console, which is wonderful, really, because if you're uploading any new content, adding a new page, anything like that, adding a sitemap is key, and it really takes the hassle out of having to go into Search Console, submit a sitemap, request or index the page, things like that. Duda just does it for you every time you publish the site. So really like that. And again, it's just another thing to streamline the process of SEO. So yeah, I'd highly recommend checking it out.
I actually haven't used the app yet, but I do kind of miss Google Search Console's manual indexing.
Yeah,
or you used to be able to type in a URL, press enter, and like, okay, you're in the queue, and they don't do that
Yeah.
anymore. But
Oh no, they brought it back.
oh, they brought it back. Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
you can head over to obviously that is, obviously you can add a sitemap, and obviously Duda's added the sitemap submission system thing to Duda now. But what's nice about Google Search Console is if you go inside and maybe one URL or two URLs aren't indexing, sometimes it does happen, you can give Google the little nudge to request index that specific page. So that's really nice. So yeah, highly recommend installing that on any site, whether it's you're an SEO or you're just a website design company. So yeah. Next thing I wanted to go over is the Stories app. So I know you checked this out. What was your experience with it?
Yeah, actually, I have a brief demo up I can show you. Again, this is very high level stuff. You gotta make me a presenter again. So stories, I think hopefully most of you know what a story is, and you've heard of Snapchat and Instagram stories, things like that. That's exactly what it is. It's about adding a story component to your website, which I never really considered in the past. But if I can show you like high level what it looks like. Let's see, share. Oh, it still says disable screen sharing.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. It's the trouble with Zoom. Let me just make you host. Yeah, so this is something that I am very interested in because I've never seen this before on any site. I've never seen a stories section on a website before, only on social media.
And granted, this is one I built in like 60 seconds, so it's not exactly flashy. But Common Ninja is the app that you'll notice in the App Store. You can add, they've got a free plan and they've got pro plans or premium plans. and of
Yeah.
course, you've got additional features if you pay for it.
Yeah.
But with the free one, it's a circular icon only, and you basically build stories slide by slide. So this is just a sample of an image background with a text overlay, and I set a link to go external and visit the site, open a new tab. That very basic. I could add 10 pages there if I wanted to or something, right? Because that's, when you watch a story, it's got those bars in the top of the screen, and it kind of
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
bar by bar like you're watching a story, which
I
is all
see.
great. And
Yeah.
how it operates, let me go into preview mode here. Let's see if it works in preview mode. You can click the
So,
icon wherever it is on the screen, and boop, there's your story.
oh,
Uh, and of
I
course,
see.
it's going to show advertise Common Ninja's widgets. They've got widgets, things like that for sale. Because I'm
Yeah.
using the free version, the
Mm.
second story is always going to be there, advertising their product.
Right.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah.
but
I
it
see. Right.
but it wasn't too expensive, and it's a fun little add-on, right?
Mm.
As designers, we're always looking for like a new way to do something that's just catchy or different on a site. And
Mm.
some clients, some of the people you work with, they may be heavy story users, they may be heavy Instagram users, things like that, and they may really like to see something like that on
Mm.
their site. Um, I think from
Yeah.
the demo I didn't see a way to use video in the background. It might be one of
Mm.
their pro features. Again, I'm using the free one.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
me, video is ideal. Like I would want to have video stories in there. So
Mm.
that's something I would look into. But that's the basics right there. That's how the stories work. It's about creating icons. You see, there's like a little
Mm.
hover effect, and when you click
Yeah.
it, you open the story. So
Yeah. For sure. Definitely. And so with the icon as well, there's on the website. Can you
yeah,
adjust that as well?
close this. Yeah. So if you go back to the App Store and go to the Common Ninja Web Stories app,
Right. Yeah.
there's different settings. Gotta
Right.
find exactly
Okay.
where they are. So here's the URL that I'm sending them to. Here's the title
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
here. I just got to find where exactly that was. I think our image on Zoom is covering up my X button. Here we go. Settings, stories, bunch of stuff to look
Oh.
at. Look and
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
Here's the circle layout, but you can't have square unless you're paying premium or use
Right.
cards.
Okay. Oh, it's
So
fairly limited then.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I could shrink the
Very
story
nice.
down a little bit, make it a little smaller.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
got the icon. So just stuff to play with. There's also some advanced options you can do. You can't do custom CSS without having a premium account.
Oh.
Uh, but
Yeah.
but for the free version, they give you enough to play with. Here's actually the stories. So how you change what runs in a row.
Mm.
I'm sorry, no, these are the individual ones. You can add multiple types of stories, and then these different icons would call or reference certain stories.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I see. Oh, okay. Right. That's an
Yeah,
interesting feature because I've never seen this before on any site before. So it's definitely interesting to add. You know, it does remind me of the video ask system. Um, I mean, obviously you are using a similar system on your website on the Duda Templates website,
yeah,
which is really nice. But it's basically using videos like you already used, but using videos to it's hard to explain really. I might have to show up an example, but it's a really nice feature in ways of actually using videos as opposed to text heavy websites all the time and things like that and buttons and things
sure.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
So
talk about it. At least from my example, what I did. One last
yeah.
thing on the web stories, though, I didn't mention. There's a new
Yeah.
widget that gets added for web stories. So
Oh
you
right. Yeah.
drag that widget in, and how does it call your web story? There's actually a unique identifier back in the app
Oh
that you copy and paste. You just paste the
yeah.
ID into here, and it loads it just like that.
Well, that's pretty cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, so that would be quite a nice idea, really, having videos within the stories. I think that's something that they can improve upon. But I'll just show you a quick example of what I was talking about earlier with the video ask system, reclaim host. So here we go. So just bring this up here. Okay. So I know, video ask basically we spoke about this before, but going over, they basically use videos to convey certain information to their users on the website, right? As opposed to using just text-heavy articles, buttons, and what's really nice is the live chat feature. If I can find it in here, video ask. Yeah, so here we go. So you've got talk to me, which is really cool. Instead of having like a button that says like a robot talking to a robot, as opposed to having an actual face to talk to. And when you click on here, you've got. Just going to mute this here. So what you can do is then choose video and reply with a video, reply with audio or text, right? Which is really cool. And then also, if I was going to use this myself, I would have different questions that people maybe frequently asked questions and things like that. And then when people click on those different questions, they can find information easily through video. So yeah, and I'm going to probably recommend this to a couple of my clients because I just really love videos on a site. I think it just works really well to convey what the business is about. And these are great here. They're like call to actions. So talk to me, and it's got the face, and then you click on that, and it comes up with the video, which is really nice. So that kind of reminded me of the Stories app. There's lots you can do with it as well, like testimonials, obviously recruitment and case studies and things like that. So yeah, very exciting times.
Yeah, you mentioned the one I'm using is on my new site, my new adventure.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can pull it up if you wanted to show them what it looks like.
Yeah, dudatemplates.com. So just put this up. Here we go. So actually, are we using the stories as well? Or is that
not on this site? No, and the video prompt is only going to be on the buy or sell page.
Right.
Okay.
On
the FAQ too. I can't remember, but at least it's on these two. And there you'll see the welcome comes up.
Yeah.
It'll play an audio message, and again, just like you just demonstrated, people can reply to me with video or audio or text. And I really like it. I've gotten a little bit of engagement from it, but it's also a very new site. But I definitely am going to use this more in other sites, and I'll probably tell other clients about it too. I think people like this type of thing. I like it.
Yeah, for sure, completely. Yeah, definitely. I think it just gives that kind of extra personal touch to a website. Having to speak to the business owner instead of I personally, I really don't like sometimes when using live chat and it's just a robot, you're just speaking to a robot, and it just doesn't feel as personal, and
right.
Yeah, it's not the greatest feeling. So having this is a really nice idea. Yeah. Have you had many? Sorry, carry on.
I'll say, well, the only robotic thing really about it is a pre-recorded video, obviously, because this is a welcome specific thing about what are they going to find on the site, why should they use it, whatever. Very quick. And if they have questions, if they want anything, I leave it open. Here, go ahead, reply to me with the video, text, whatever. It's personalization is really what it is. It's just another step in personalization.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And like I mentioned earlier, I believe you can use like a logic as well. It's kind of like if you've used type forms before, but like if say if one person clicks on this button, they go to the next video, and then another person clicks on this button, they go to a different video, and it'll give them different answers based on the buttons they click. So say for example, you had another button down here that went to how much does a template cost? It would go to another video of you talking about how much does a template cost. So really love that. Really love that.
I'll have to look into that because I've only experimented with the product so far. The one I'm using is called Warm Welcome. That's the one I'm using. I like it, but I've only scratched the surface of it. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely check that out, guys, if you haven't already. And also check out Duda templates. Obviously, I'll leave a link in the description below if you're interested in getting to Duda templates. Okay. Was there anything else? So we've gone over local business schema, stories app, search console, flex section. I don't believe there's much else. Obviously, as they're rolling out new applications and things like that, we'll continue to do any reviews on them. Do you have anything else to add to the video?
Yeah, no, Duda does a great job in rolling out, update after update, and they've gotten other investments now. So it just seems to be coming faster and faster. They're doing a great job. It's nice seeing the enhancements. And hopefully they address some of the issues that a lot of us builders have had and users for a long period. I've been on the platform since 2016, so I've seen some amazing growth, and I just appreciate the opportunity to do this stuff. I like this work, and
Yeah, for
they
sure.
listen to us. So this platform's
Yeah.
been changing for the better consistently year over year.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Excellent. Yeah, and I love the Flex section as well because it's kind of I've used Webflow as well before, and it kind of reminds me of those kind of systems. And now that they've introduced Flex, I guess you could say I've read before people have said they're almost catching up with those other website builders that are using systems similar to Flex. So that's really nice as opposed to the old builder. So yeah, we can definitely see improvements and things like that. All right, then. I think that's everything today, guys. Obviously, go and check out Do the Templates. Go and check out Tom's channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. And yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.
Thank you.